top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Uncouth Radio. We are in the house. And the house is packed. We are live and on the air in the middle of this insane election. I really feel like I'm watching Lakers Game 7 of the Boston Celtics series, where it was just going back and forth down to the wire. I think the race is a lot closer than a lot of people suspected. We're going to get into all of these things tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the election, where we are. The paths that Biden needs to get to victory. We're going to take to the paths that Trump needs to get to victory. We're going to talk about the changing demographics. We're going to talk about people who are shocked at the amount of votes that Trump got. We're going to talk about the people that are shocked at the amount of votes that Biden got. And we're going to get into what are the things the Dems need to do to start to shore up their base a little more. Like, even though we know Biden had a great turnout, most popular vote ever for any Democratic candidate. Any candidate ever. I'm sorry. Any candidate ever. He even beat Obama with voter turnout this time in the middle of a pandemic, which says a hell of a lot, on top of voter suppression, which says a whole hell of a lot. So they are doing a good job in that. But there are some things in some places and some demographics I think they need to leave alone, i.e. white women and moderates. But we'll get into that a little later. First, I just want to go around the panel, and I want to get how y'all feeling about the election right now. What are your thoughts, and what do you think the outcome will be? Let's start with you, Sheila, because it seems like you are sick of this shit, as you say.
At this point, I'm not even as worried about who wins as I am about our focus remaining on holding whoever's there accountable. We still have to keep our attitude laser focused on going after our local politicians, making sure that we come together on what we need to benefit us, and pushing it and pushing them to push on who's above them, and just keeping that pressure. But I do feel that Trump is going to lose. I do feel like he's going to act a complete donkey, and he's not going to leave easily. But I think it'll be to no avail, because I think even a lot of the people who are even following their pockets are just tired at this point. So, but yeah, I was still one of the people super shocked at how many people voted for Trump. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Chandra, let's go with what you think and how you feeling. I know you've been following closely. Me and you've been talking nonstop pretty much throughout the day. Give us what you see from a technical standpoint on the ground, and then what you feel from an emotional standpoint going through this whole debacle, this whole shit show, as Chloe Robinson says.
To be honest, I agree with you, Sheila, as far as I was still shocked about the 60-something million people that turned out for this dude. Like, I mean, still, I think I just have way too much hope and faith and like common sense and like the belief that, because to be honest, I don't believe that every person who follows Trump is racist. A lot of them are like racist. A lot of them are like racist adjacent. A lot of them are like, because we got black people that voted for him. So I don't think they're racist. I mean, so we have like just people who have their own personal reasons. Somebody said that we were watching some returns, and somebody said that they didn't want to vote for Biden because he was older and they didn't feel comfortable with the woman being president if he lost. So it's millions and millions of reasonings why people did it. Quincy did a thing one time, and they said there were thousands and thousands of votes that, not this time, but where people didn't mark for president. So it's just at the end of the day, I think we give people way too much credit. We talk about stuff, we talk things out, we're too logical. And I think we give people too much credit that they're going to do like what makes the most sense. Like, anytime you talk to a Trump supporter, like I said, there's sometimes where we'll say, hey, is it about the money? That's fine. Is it about his racist practices? That's fine. They're never real about why they're voting. It never makes any sense. But we know at the end of the day, they all have their reasonings. You know, like I said, I could never be cool with somebody who is a Trump supporter because I feel like it's gone past that. I'm voting with him for the money. Like again, you're now okay with the homophobia, the xenophobia, this person being like dictate. It doesn't make any sense. So that's where I stand as far as that. I think I'm gonna, and this is what I said that I was gonna say, Dame, about the controversial thing. And this is from me watching some of this stuff as well. I hate to say this. I really do. I really hate that this is about to come out of my mouth. But honestly, somewhere, somehow, Trump has to be given some type of credit because this fool like did these rallies. He got people out on these COVID super spreader events. He got over 66 million people to vote for him still. You know, like we all looked at that like how, and you know, he worked as hard as he could in these last few weeks to like get it to turn out his way. So if I'm a Trump supporter and if I'm somebody who's out there, you know, we see them, they have to be proud of their candidate. How it probably won't turn out their way, but they have to be proud of kind of how he pulled it together. To be honest, like, dude had COVID. He was like, I beat COVID. Hello, y'all come vote for me. COVID ain't. I mean, people's families died. People died at those rallies, and he still got them to come out, and he still got them to vote for him. That's some master con manipulated. I mean, that's the he is the ultimate hustler. Like he's the I'm not black, I'm OJ. It's like I'm not like a hustler. I'm Trump. Like I got it. That's like, where I'm at with him. Okay, so as far as we talked about a little bit about so I'm not gonna say props. I mean, I might say it if we were all the way over because again, he's trying to sue everywhere. Before the day even ended, he had 40 lawsuits. But just one of them was because they said that they saw somebody place 53 ballots somewhere after 7 o'clock. And that 53 ballots is not going to help you and you $100,000 ballots.
And you took the time to count them. You saw them from the distance.
So y'all have binoculars, y'all kind of 53 ballots. I don't know, whatever. So y'all know he's going to scratch and claw. 53. And go to the judge, like, you know what I mean. So he's gonna try it. He's gonna scratch and claw because he's not gonna be able to lose. He's not gonna be able to if he loses. I mean, again, he has like one path. He has one path. Biden has a couple. The major one that we're looking at, just in case for you guys that are following, is Arizona. Biden is at 253. Again, me and Dame are following a couple of different ones, but we like to be more conservative. For some of you who are wondering why CNN is not calling as fast is because they had this whole situation in 2000 with Al Gore. They called Florida, and then it was a whole like the hanging Chad situation, and they had to recount and all. So they had to go back and say why they didn't. You know, there are certain ways that certain stations, you know, whoever they have their statisticians and stuff. There's certain ways that they have them call. So that's why CNN in some places may be a little bit more conservative because even Fox News called Arizona like hours ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, saying all that to say, we're just the people who are on that Biden path. He has the easiest path he has. That looks like more. If things stay the way that they are, if he stays up in Nevada, and if he stays up in Arizona, he wins. He gets exactly 260, and I mean 270. And if Trump keeps all those other states, because he's up in the other ones, I believe, right?
Yeah.
If he's like North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, if he keeps those, then he's going to get 268. So, of course, we know, because CNN says it every 5 seconds, 270 to the White House. So there's only one, whoever gets. So that's where we're at. So 275.
I don't think it's going to take Georgia like that.
All right. Go ahead, Chan.
They're counting. I've been saying that for a while, Sheila. They're counting a lot in a lot of those urban counties. And another thing too, you guys remember the absentee ballots? They come a lot. The Democrats, that was kind of what they went on. Go ahead, vote by mail. Try to put your stuff in. So I think that a lot of urban areas are the ones that are doing the absentee. And in Georgia, Atlanta is what they're counting. They were counting like over 500,000 votes at a point. So that's what they're looking at. Because to me, y'all, and this is the last thing I'll say. When Biden came out and spoke, for those of you that got kind of saw him, did you guys feel like I know something y'all don't know. Like I kind of felt like he was like, we're gonna, we're doing really well in here, we're doing really well there. Like I felt like he kind of had a little bit more of insight, and maybe he knew that those votes that weren't counted were from more areas that were going towards him. And again, if you guys look at where they campaigned, these counties, these were where they were campaigning. They knew where to go. They knew where to go. So I think they both ran a really good race. Too bad,
Absolutely.
we're not going to get through like a normal race where one just concedes and goes. We're going to have to probably call some like armored guards to get that fool out of the office. I don't know, but.
Yeah, because you have to think about, just real quick, and this time I checked it to make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. Atlanta's population, you're talking about 5.8 million people just in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're not done with those votes, I mean, that could be some major stuff to swing it in the other direction.
And I see people saying that Atlanta is coming in this turning blue. You have 49.8 versus 49, and it's very, very close. And this is the thing: if Trump loses Atlanta, there is no path to the White House for him after that, unless he flips Nevada and Arizona. He has to flip Nevada and Arizona in order to get there. So
I think it's going to happen.
He's actually closing. Biden's also closing the gap in Pennsylvania, but I don't know if I feel like the Pennsylvania lead might be a little too big, but hell, I thought Michigan was too big. So
right.
So I'm being quiet and letting them go in and count the votes. Rob, you on the East Coast. Can you give us a sense of the feeling of what's going on the East Coast? Because I know New York, y'all came and bought it in. I think y'all gave Biden like 97% or something like that.
I already told y'all we don't trust the con man. We've known this motherfucker since the 70s. He ain't about shit. Nobody's forgetting the fact what he did to the Central Park 5. Nobody's forgetting that. Motherfuckers literally go to Trump Tower and piss on it. Literally. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was
New York, Mumbai.
I was a little disappointed. I think I was more disappointed than anything because I wanted there to be a little bit more of a convincing win. I felt that there was a lot of strategic approach. I think the use of, the campaigning in Florida was a mask to prevent him from campaigning in those key areas in which he was going. I also think they utilized Obama perfectly to get underneath his skin because, that motherfucker, once Obama starts, Trump loses his damn mind. I'm very disappointed in the Democratic Party, especially with the loss of South Carolina. I was.
What you mean? You talking about the Senate race, right? Specifically. Yep. Okay.
Because the fact that Jamie Harrison had $100 million, he had an advantage, and then lost by such a large margin.
Well, let me step in and say this real quick, Maine Brady. I think people fail to realize, I think we all see and we all recognize how dope of a candidate Jamie Harrison was. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people didn't understand how much of an uphill battle he had to be a black man winning in South Carolina to beat Lindsey Graham. Like it's like compounded issues that were there. So because I think a lot of people were even shocked, because I know me and Quincy had talked about this. A lot of people were even shocked he was that close that late in the polls, and I'll talk to Quincy about that a little more, because me and Quincy are going to get into a little bit of those Senate races. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're right. I mean, his race in particular, there was a lot of issues in which we've been talking about nationwide. It was very magnified to that area. I think overall, it's like looking at the Democratic strategy, looking at the Republican strategy. At the end of the day, the Republican Party is now the Trumpian Party, which to me,
it's not going away.
No, it's not going away.
It's not going away even with Trump.
No, which to me now feels, the question of the Lincoln Party, like what now becomes of the Lincoln Party? Are they now going to transition into that independent party? And as we've been speaking before, if the Democrats are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, there is now a new option. I think just overall, it was a very interesting situation. Just looking at the campaign, you know, Trump ran a marketing campaign. He ran a marketing campaign, and he dumbed everything down to the point where it was easy to identify and easy to
Well,
jump on the
also,
train.
I think people need to understand. Trump started campaigning the moment he won the White
Oh
House.
yeah.
Like the moment he won the White House, if y'all don't understand, Trump never stopped doing rallies.
Mm-mm.
Trump never stopped campaigning. Trump
Mm-mm.
never stopped working towards this race. So that's one thing to, like Chandra said, you got to give him credit because he never stopped campaigning. The Republicans actually did run a great race because they held a lot of those states that a lot of people thought were going to flip. They ran a great race because even though the polls said Biden would be up 5 to 9 points, which me, Ron, and Quincy said consistently, fuck them polls, don't listen
Right.
to the polls. But even though he said those consistently, they still were able to hold a lot of their map. But that also goes to say you have to give the Democrats credit too, because flipping Arizona was huge. And I know it's not totally in yet, but even getting that close, but flipping Arizona was huge. Getting that Wisconsin and Michigan back, because those are the two things that made sure that took Hillary out early. Because if y'all remember, around 10 o'clock last time, we knew Hillary was done. 10 o'clock on election night, we knew it was a wrap for Hillary. Hillary only got to 237, if I'm not mistaken. So I think both campaigns, they ran great campaigns, but I think the Democrats actually just did a little better. But we even still, because we never satisfied. Tonight, we're going to talk about the things that they could have did a little better and the things that they need to do to start showing up some of those red states right there in the middle. Because I think we need to break up that red in the middle if we're going to try to have some real ground moving forward. Quincy, I want to come to you. I know they said the Democrats are a little disappointed and what happened in those Senate races, but I know me and you talked about this. They put a lot of resources into the presidential race, so I think we lost a lot of ground on the ground game in a lot of those states. Talk to us about what happened in the Senate, because they thought they had a chance to flip the Senate. Some of those seats haven't gone their way. It might end up being a tie, or it might be one up for the Republicans. But give us the scope of what's going on with the Senate race.
Well, let me touch on Trump for a minute. Real quick, I think to make Chandler's point, what Trump has, what most con artists do, Trump has keyed in on the ignorance of every group of people, even black people. That's why he is able to convince black folks to support him, and then the moment he get done talking to them, he go talk to the white supremacists. He has keyed in on the dumbasses in every group of people, because even Hillary Clinton, Hillary lost a white woman vote, but she won a white educated woman vote. So white women who graduated from college, Hillary actually won their vote. So what Trump has keyed on is the ignorant, uneducated folks, and he knows that the only thing he have to do is give good lines, good headlines, news lines, and it's like it's no different than everybody on here. I could post something negative about y'all, and I could post something positive about y'all. The negative will get more shares than the positive. That's just how this culture is. And Trump has keyed in and locked on that, and he has tapped into every group of people. Like every uneducated, dumbass group of people in each group, and that's how you get to 66 million people. And folks need to America not as smart as we want to portray, because he wouldn't be president if we was. So as far as the election, I was only nervous when I saw Virginia red, because I knew that Hillary had won Virginia. And I know that if Trump flipped any state that Hillary won,
Biden was in trouble.
Biden was going to be in trouble. But then it was like Biden was behind by 300,000 votes, and then the absentee drops from Fairfax County, boom, and then it was like, we're going to give this to Biden. I was like, damn. So that was like that's been a pattern. And once again, this election shows the power of Black people. You look at where these absentee ballots coming from. Fulton County in Georgia, where Atlanta is. Fairfax County in Virginia, where Richmond is. Philadelphia County in Pennsylvania. Wayne County, where Detroit is in Michigan. Milwaukee County in Wisconsin. Clark County in Nevada. That's where Vegas is. These are all where Black people is. So, and I know we're going to get later on what they need to do, what Democrats need to do. They need to start appealing to their base. You know, and we'll get into that later because we are their base.
Yeah.
And we should be top priority, and we'll get into that later. But after I saw the pattern of the impact of the absentee ballots coming from those major cities, that's when I started. I was like, Biden is going to win. I never really believed that Biden could win Texas because he really he was only winning in two areas, where Houston was and where Fort Worth and Dallas was. Outside of that, Trump had the rest of Texas. But I want to give a special shout out to Stacey Abrams because she's the one that set the tone in Georgia when she ran for governor. She really set the tone for Biden to be in a situation that he's in right now as far as Georgia, because we know Georgia has been shit. I think that Georgia has been a red state damn near most of our lifetime. So that's pretty much my take. Biden should win for all the reasons you guys stated. As far as the Senate, I thought maybe Susan Collins was going to lose. She pulled it out. I heard Tillerson was losing until the dude had a sex scandal.
Yeah.
His opponent had a sex scandal. You touched on Jamie Harrison. Angela Rye said that she was disappointed because I guess the Black turnout wasn't as well as they thought it was.
Well, Daisha, who lives out there too, she said when she went to vote, that they thought they saw ghosts when she came through there. She said because a lot of Black people just don't vote out there. Yeah.
And so when you 28% of a population, Jamie needed about 95 of that.
Yeah.
To show up. Like anything less than 90%,
he was out the game.
And that's why, because there's no way he was polling the way he was polling and he lost by double digits the way that he did. That means people will show up. And that's just something that, like, you know, I know I'm very critical of Black people not turning out to vote. And I know Angela Rye said, I guess we have some people in Louisiana and Black folks didn't turn out to vote. And I was just thinking back, I said, you know, Dr. King and them, they was constantly moving throughout the South. They just didn't stay in the state. They moved, you know, they was marching in Memphis, they was in Alabama, they was in Georgia, Tennessee, you name it. And I think that we have to do a better job. Those who are like aware and mobilizing as far as and aware of situation as far as voting, we got to start getting other places who don't vote to start voting, because I mean, I know a lot of Black folks are in the South and feel defeated, and that's understandable. But look at Georgia right now, and that had a lot to do with Black people. Texas was competitive because that had a lot to do with Black people. The Democrats picked up a seat in Arizona. That was huge. If this race in Georgia, if Purdue get under 50%, it's going to be another runoff. So how Georgia work is you have to get 50% or above to win the seat. If you get 50%, if you're below 50%, there's a runoff in January.
Well, wait, Q, I got a question about that. Is it 51% or could it be like 50.3 or 50.4?
No, he got to be below 50. So he got to be like at 49%. And I think he's at 50.3, 0.2 last time I saw. And so, and his opponent actually is a white dude that was pretty much mentored and molded by John Lewis.
Yep.
So if it comes down to those 2 Senate seats, that's going to be huge because even if the Democrats get the tiebreaker, remember, if Biden is elected, the vice president is the tiebreaker. So if the Senate end up in a tie, the VP is the tiebreaker. Mike Pence actually broke a tie earlier this year, where the Senate was they was deadlocking a tie, and Mike Pence became the tiebreaker. So that would be huge. And the Senate is important because everybody was talking about packing the court and all that. None of that shit is irrelevant if Mitch McConnell and the Republicans
are in the Senate.
He's back in there.
Yeah, because and if they have the majority, he's going to be the majority leader. So, and then we also talking about we right back to where we were with Obama last 6 years because they're going to block every fucking thing that they try to put through, and we pretty much and then folks would fall for it. Oh, well, Biden didn't do nothing, blah blah blah, and no one is taking consideration that
McConnell was literally there to be the instructor.
Yeah, they blocking stuff. But
now let me ask you this question real quick, Q. Now I know that the president can't go to jail, but they talked about once Trump gets out of office, he'll be persecuted, but Mitch McConnell will be tied in on some of his dirt. Is it possible for him to go to jail?
Shit. I don't know what. I know New York waiting for Trump to fucking leave office. That's what
right, but they're not just trying to take him. That's why the feds have like what is it like a 96% conviction rate? Because by the time they get you, they gotta book this thing.
Well, the Fed. Look, I got a personal experience working with the feds. I won't ever forget this. Just to kind of give you some intel how the feds work. So this dude had robbed the bank in Long Beach. So we get there, we investigate. We trying to find a person. The feds casually walk up. It was like, oh, that's such and such. I was like, y'all know who the fuck this is? There's like
people for like a year.
Yeah, he was like, he been hitting up. He didn't hit about 8 banks in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? I said, so when y'all decide, like, they was like, well, he ain't dangerous or anything right now, but there's like, the moment he stopped, that's when we'll go get him. Yep. So that's why they have a 90% conviction rate.
96.
Yeah, the feds will let you commit crimes and you can get away with that shit. And then the moment you stop, boom. And think about it, Mike Vick, they fighting dogs for 3-4 years, all doing all type of shit, not knowing. And then the moment this shit stopped, they got rid of everything. That's when they come get you. So that's how the feds work. So, and they.
So just don't stop.
I think a lot of people. I think for example, I think his sons are definitely in some shit. I believe Trump's sons are definitely like. I
don't even think God can handle it. That dude is coked out of his mind every time you see him.
But back to the Senate, because the Senate is, as I know, to get shit passed. If we want any type of black agenda, anything for black folks passed, you got to have the people in the fucking Senate, in the House to pass it, or we just right back to being deadlocked. Of course, Biden could do some things to executive orders, but as y'all can see, if the next motherfucker get in, all he have to do is go reverse everything. He got the right to reverse whatever executive order the previous president did, and that's pretty much what Trump did, but all the Obama executive orders. So hopefully, Purdue, the Republican in Georgia drops under 50%, and that means the other guy is actually a black pastor who's running in Georgia,
and endorsed by Obama.
Yeah, and he's been endorsed by Obama. So hopefully we will get those Senate seats. If not, I think the strategy is for Biden and Kamala to find the most moderate possible Republican in there. I don't know, maybe even give them a job.
And also remember, we still have those 2 independent seats too. That usually vote.
But even with those 2, it would be they would still need one more person. So they would have to find one Republican moderate to vote with them, because at least if they get to a tie, Kamala could be the tiebreaker. If not, then it's just going to be, fucking 2 years until the next midterm of trying to get shit passed, which, we already seen which Mitch McConnell is capable of doing as far as when it comes to blocking shit and not let shit get through. So
hopefully they all just go to jail.
If you know that ain't gonna happen because America got too much ego.
I think a big part of whether or not we're gonna know if Trump going to jail or not is when we find out who's the attorney general is.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be pretty much telling. But it seems like so far, the motherfuckers in New York is waiting for him. So
all right. So Ron, I saved this for you. Now that we got all that out the way, listen.
Yeah, we got all that bad news out the way.
Many people,
Quincy bringing the truth.
People always say. People have been saying they're shocked, they're hurt, they didn't realize that this is who America was. Now, for a long time, me and you have been saying this is exactly who America is. For 4 years, Quincy has been saying Obama is who we want America to be, and Trump is who America is.
Actually is, yep.
So many people lied. Talking about we need to get him out of there. All that hype beast you heard from a bunch of white women. I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell the truth. A bunch of white women out there marching with their pussycat hats and all that shit. And they've actually went up to 55% to vote for Trump. So Ron, I want you to talk to me about what you see and explain to people what America is and why you're not shocked that he got 69 million people to vote for him.
Well, thank you for that great introduction, Dame. And I've been watching Fox News and kind of just listening to it all day. And it's just been, I've been ecstatic. First, I'd like to thank Black people for once again saving America. I mean, we did it, you all. We earned this. This is all on us. Black Lives Matter. Let's just get that all out of the way. We're going to take our bow. We got our X for Wakanda. I want to get all that out the way first before we get back down to the nitty gritty. What was really concerning to me, just seeing out is that Trump actually gained 5 million votes from 2016, which shows us that the trend is not going like people. And let's just be frank. This because I think this is our last show of the year, right?
Yeah, it's the last show for a while.
Let's just be frank. White people, it's time for you guys to fix your own shit. At this point, we've done our part. We've helped get a tyrannical type of dictator out of office. And now it's up to you to talk to each other and say, hey, this is where we need to go. Because what's going to happen, and this is just something I was looking at, just kind of looking at demographics over the next 12 to 20 years. This may be the last run for the red team. Unfortunately for them, we're going to keep having babies. We're going to keep adding voters to our pool. And the key for us in this sort of scenario where America is kind of blinded, we live in that dream of America. Hey, rah, rah, good, we're great. But reality is we're a completely split, almost right down the middle country. And what we're split on is really not about economics. It ain't about, abortion that they want to make about. It's about race, and it's about equality, and it's about justice, which is supposed to be the construct of this country. And so until the soon-to-be minority realizes this and just sees that, sometimes you got to take a step back. I took a step back in 2016, and I think it kind of hurt us. I know California still was blue, but, just that mentality hurt us. And now that we finally got our shit together, for the most part, we got a lot of work to do, which Quincy just explained, especially dealing with the Senate and all the other House seats and things. I think we got the House, but especially the Senate. If we can get our shit together come 2024, I would even expect by 2028 that they won't even have a chance, because once you lose Nevada, you're losing Arizona. They're potentially going to lose Texas come next election, just based on demographics. The Latino population is growing. The Black population is growing. So the Latinos kind of off themselves because they, some of them vote with Republicans and some don't. But this to me is very enlightening, but also very telling, which is history has shown us that until this country is ready to deal with its original sin and just address that, this will be the reality. We're going to be split down the middle. We're going to constantly be fighting and bickering about things that we should have been well beyond. The 60s have been past. That was the time to deal with race. It's time to move on, get to the economy, build jobs, create new, avenues for children coming that are going to be eventually voters, and they're going to be graduating. But yet still here we are. And so I think this is America's final kind of just look at itself, where you can look in the mirror and see, okay, we did this twice in a row now. What are we going to do in 2024?
So this is like like you said, this is like the last stand, though, right? This is like Custer's last stand when it comes to trying to keep that last bit of power, because we've talked about this a lot on the show throughout the years that Trump has been in office. We know that Trump lived off of white fear. Like, Trump lives off of white fear. He thrives off of showing them that, you losing your place, you losing your power. They are coming to take over. He know how to talk to them. And like Quincy said, it's very interesting. He can talk to them and then go talk to, certain demographic of black men and say, don't rock with the Democrats. I'm going to do this and that for you. So it's very interesting how he was able to have that duality with a lot of uneducated people. And please, people, I want you to understand, we're talking about statistically uneducated people. I'm not trying to say nobody's dumb. I'm not trying to say nothing on a personal level, but I'm talking about statistically. Trump has been able to speak to a lot of the uneducated people, and a lot of his voters have been non-graduates of college, and a lot of non-graduates from high school has been a lot of Trump's base. So I just want people to understand what I'm talking about when I say that.
I just realized Trump is Pennywise.
Yeah, because he talked to everybody's fears. He goes to everybody and talks to them about their fears.
Become more invincible the more people get scared.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But what you want to touch on, Dane, what was interesting about what you mentioned as far as black men that support Trump? What I've been kind of just rattling in my brain is I really think those black men want to be Donald Trump. They want to be a white man with power to do whatever the hell they want to do, when they want to do, and not be held accountable for it.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yeah, because
that's very unique.
Yeah, I was saying let's talk about that, because
Chandra kind of broke it down in her intro. Everything that she broke down is what is appealing about Trump, whether you like him or not.
Right.
But you know what? I'll talk to a more positive side of it. In my little church that I grew up in, did I cut somebody off?
No, you good.
You're good.
In my little church that I have, we have one white lady in our congregation. Mm-hmm. She is the only one who wrote an entire proposal for us to submit to the head of the denomination that they need to denounce white supremacy. The denomination I grew up in is the CRC. It's like the Christian Reformed Church. And I just read a story in the LA Times yesterday about this pastor who literally handed in his resignation because he couldn't believe how racist his congregation was.
Wow.
And he's not even the first one. Right. And so just on the positive side of it, it has been a lot of the negativity, but on the positive side of it, there are starting to be some people who get it. And I mean, like, I wish I could show you guys the proposal this lady wrote out. It was super well thought out and just like a very clear, concise. We don't want to hear anything else but this whole denomination denouncing white supremacy. That's it. And it's a pretty white denomination.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up too, because there's a big demographic that voted for Trump was white, born again evangelicals, Christians, and I think they were like 68% or 69%.
It was 70, yeah.
About 70% voted for Trump, right? And a lot of them, because I've seen a post. I want to send a shout out to my homegirl Brianna Johnson on her page. She had a post where the dude was like, "This is a race between good versus evil, and Trump has been sent to us by God," and they really believe this. They really believe that. So it's a very interesting. It's interesting when you talk about perspective and views, and this goes to what you're talking about, Ron. When we talk about the race for a president was also an indictment on race in America at this point, in my opinion, because there weren't enough people. You would think more people will repudiate all the racism that has been doled out throughout the whole term, but now we see that America is a lot closer to the 60s than we thought they were. You know what I mean? America, and a lot of times, and I was trying to explain it to people, that middle part of America, a lot of them, they like mad behind. They like mad behind in years. Those rural, middle of nowhere places that vote for Trump, they probably watch Fox News. They don't get nothing but like and like Ron said, me and Ron been watching Fox a lot today. If you watch nothing but Fox News, let me tell you the echo chamber that they have. It's really kind of insane because
Fear mongering.
at least look, I know CNN is left leaning, but I feel like I can actually get some news from CNN. MSNBC to me is probably the most middle, in my opinion.
Right.
People think it's left leaning because they had to report on Trump, so it seems like they're left leaning because Trump do so much wild shit. But to me, MSNBC is the most straight ahead, and even there, it's not to me.
Different, actually.
You said what?
I think CNN is the most in the middle, and MSNBC is more left.
Yeah, that's true. MSNBC is actually a little more left leaning. Well, maybe that's why it feels like.
But you know the crazy thing, when I remember when I first started watching like news, like politics stuff, right? And I was watching Fox News, and it was like because I thought it was like Fox News, like Channel 11 Fox News, like
in the morning, Jillian and all them. Yeah,
I'm watching Fox News. I'm like, this shit is wild. What the fuck they said? Like I was like a baby as far as politics. Didn't really know like a lot of shit, but I knew some of that shit they were saying.
It makes sense.
Way off.
Well, that goes to the point too, Quincy. If you're somebody like the demographic that Ron was talking about, right? That's babies in politics, a little less educated, those black males that feel like they haven't been spoken to directly by the Democratic Party. At Fox News get a little hold to you with some of those nuggets and things, they'll get you, they'll draw you in, and they'll have you. Because if you think about a lot of the conversations we had with the black male Trump supporters or the black male Democratic defectors or the black male people against Biden, it's almost word for word the same conversation on every post, right? It's almost, it's almost like they have been programmed to say, when I say this, they say this. When you say this, I say this.
What
TV is brainwashing.
I think another thing too, I think a lot of times they feel like agreeing with the mass is not, it takes away from their individuality. So if there's somebody who is like different thinking, like the whole Kanye effect, if there's somebody who's like, oh, they're going against the system, they're going against,
the usual.
They're going against the usual, and that appeals to a large population.
Yeah, it does. Well, I was talking with somebody because I think what I was telling because somebody had texted me last night because they found out they found out that Jackie Lacey, her opponent, was a former LAPD cop, and I was texting her back and forth, and she did her own little research, and I guess she found out he was ran out of up there in
Frisco.
Yeah, Frisco. And so me and her was talking, and she's like, well, you don't tell me a lot of stuff. I said, because I tried to give you information and you just think, oh, you caping for Biden or whatever. I said, I try to give you everything. So at least if you have everything, then you can make
an informed decision.
I said, I don't even do that with my kids. And Chandra will tell you, I don't try to persuade my kids because Kennedy wanted to talk about politics today. I don't try to persuade my kids in how they think. I just want them to have all the information. And then once you have all the information, then you could go from there. So when I saw a lot of black men, it was like, okay, the crime bill. I was like, okay, cool. I get it. I didn't like the crime bill either. I didn't like the 1986 crime bill. I thought that was worse than the 94 crime bill. I get all that. But bro, the shit that you don't like about the crime bill, Trump and Jeff Sessions brought back. Obama repealed a lot of that shit. Private prisons is blossoming under Trump. Trump is backing up private prisons in a lawsuit because California banned private prisons. Private prisons is suing California. Trump administration is backing that up. Jeff Sessions said, hey, we're going to bring back all the marijuana laws and charge them harshly. Right. So the shit that you had an issue with about the crime bill, you actually backing the administration up.
So it's going to bring it all back.
Just bringing all that shit right back. Now, So the thing, and dude was looking at me like, what? And so I told him the articles. I was like, look, I said, dude, I was like, yeah, that's one thing in our parents' era because like you had to like grab a newspaper, maybe a Jet encyclopedia or some shit. I said, but like with Google, you can look up any fucking thing you want. And I said,
they're gonna give you everything you want.
Yeah, I said, so we have to really teach our people because I know civics and government and all that, how things work. You know, a lot of people kind of miss that, but
we actually putting together, just real quick, Uncouth Radio is actually putting together a free civics class. What we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of teachers and we're going to get some people to donate so we can pay the teacher. And then we're going to teach some free civics class to our people who want to get in and want to start to understand more of the system. Because if we are going to participate in the system, I think we need to learn more because that's the only way you can manipulate is if you know how to participate.
Exactly.
And for those that like the cheap way, YouTube crash courses, they got it on government too.
Yeah. And so I was telling dude, I said, look, I don't know everything. I said the other day I was hearing about all these unqualified Supreme Court justices that Trump put in that even the Bar Association was like, these motherfuckers are not qualified. So I was like, you know what? How do you get rid of a Supreme Court justice? Oh, you can impeach him. Oh, so they go through the same impeachment process as the president do. The House impeach him, the Senate remove him. Like that's some shit I like the moment that question popped in my head, I went to go research it. So I tell people, I was like, look, about these bills and propositions, go see what's in those bills. Because I was telling dude, I said, I'm gonna read some of this shit off and tell me, do you like it? So I read the sex registry, the crimes against women, that part of the crime bill. I said, would you vote for that? He was like, yeah, why not? I said, bro, that's in the 94 crime bill.
Right.
I said, so he was like,
and then it's like, do you even understand how bills work? You do get that Biden can't just write a bill and that's it. It has to get
look, right? A girl told me that Biden authorized the crime bill. I almost fucking fainted. Hey, what got me, she had like 1,200 likes. She was like, first of all, Biden authorized the crime bill. I was like, what? So I was okay. So, but see, and so I remember I was telling Damon Chandler when I went over the crime bill, I always wondered like, why did Biden put like crimes against women in the crime bill? Like, what was that about? I later on found out, just did a little bit more research. He couldn't get that shit to pass on its own because back then, like, they really didn't believe women was getting their ass beat like that. So he had to use that as a bargaining chip to put to make that a part of the crime bill. So I'm like literally have to explain to this dude how like he's like, man, you know what? He said, I just learned more in this 10 minutes from you than I probably didn't learn about like over the past 10, 15 years about this shit. I was like, dude, we just have to research it. I said, if you research it, I said, because it's important that we understand how the game is played, like Dame said, because once you know how the game is played, then you can start manipulating it. Then you can understand when to use your leverage. When, like, okay, cool. Here come the primaries. This is what we're looking for. This is what we want. Y'all already know whoever get the black vote in the primary goes to the general election. You know, we gonna present whoever a black contract with the list of things that we want. Whoever agreed to this and push on this is the candidate we're gonna back up. Because as you can see, we didn't vote in 2016. Y'all took an L.
Yep.
You vote in 2020, you win. So we understand our leverage play, and so
especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now.
So I mean, Biden owed black women like a motherfucker. Well, I guess we'll get into that because when we start talking about what Democrats need to do, but
yeah, actually, we can go into that right now, Quincy. Because let's put a button on that because you're right. Because we can kind of talk about that all night, but I do want to say to end what Quincy was talking about when we're talking about the crime bill. Like, you gotta I want to start helping us teach people about the nuance of these things, right? Because I've had so many conversations where I explained the nuance of the crime bill, and they like, oh, I'm like, yeah, but then you get the people who just, like I said, they got those Fox talking points. So they just go off the talk. So even when you rebut them with the fact, there are going to be some people who like Trump supporters who like, fuck that crime bill. Even when you come back and say, well, the candidate you're supporting right now is bringing it back about a lot of stuff in that crime bill. They're going to say, buying a pedophile. Like it goes like.
Well, the thing is they have learned their lesson, because the thing about the crime bill should have worked in the ideal America. I mean, if you
in an ideal system, an ideal non-racist system.
An ideal non-racist system.
Yeah.
But when you haven't dealt with the system, it's kind of like, you know, I remember when my grandmother had cancer, and there are certain fruits, I guess, that has a lot of that's high in sugar.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And normally fruit is good for you, right? And the idea type of, you know, your body, fruit is good for you. But when she had cancer,
it was attacking their good cells.
The sugar was feeding the cancer and making it even worse. That's how I kind of look at the crime bill. The crime bill, ideally, it should have worked. But since you haven't dealt with the cancer, which is systematic racism, it was sugar feeding the cancer cells to a system that black people ultimately paid the price for. That's why now you hear them talking about, okay, how do we fix the culture in policing? Because you could create all the new laws all you want, but if you still got a racist ass culture in law enforcement, it don't matter what new laws and things you try to bring up to fix crime, because you're feeding the racist system. You're just giving them more weapons to use against this group.
Sugar.
Yeah, because if they were really serious, it's two things that could knock all of this police shit out. First of all, if you turn your camera off for any reason, you automatically are guilty. Second of all, if somebody have to sue, it should come from your pension first, and then anything over and above that is paid out by insurance. If they had to worry about their pockets or automatically going to jail, racism be damned. They'll get over a whole bunch.
I would add one more thing to that. I think all brass members in law enforcement should be elected officials. So if the chief, the deputy chief, and the top commanders, because see, it makes them, it keeps them away from it almost made the chief have to be honest in his job, because he know the next motherfucker might be trying to take his job. So it really keeps because to me, the culture of law enforcement starts at the top. It's not the dude in the police car. The dude in the police car only doing what he's told to do to keep his job. Like I was criticized. Literally, a supervisor was like, a supervisor literally told me that I wasn't doing police work because I didn't have a lot of use of forces. This from my superior officer, my supervisor. All right. Now, of course, being the type of person I am, I wasn't about to go out there and just start beating people asses to appease folks. But to others, to the majority,
that's what I got to do.
That's what I got to do.
Yeah.
But Dave, let's go into
let's go, because like Sydney said, black women and in Detroit. Hey y'all, Detroit then gave us something to be proud of besides Sydney James. They came through in the clutch. Hey Sid, shout out to
Wayne County.
Shout out to Wayne County. It's so cold in the D, but they bought the sunshine last night.
It's so cold in the D.
They bought the sunshine last night. So listen, first of all, like Quincy said, the Democratic Party owes a debt of gratitude forever to black women. Black women have been showing up and showing out since the midterms and keeping them close to or in the game the whole time. Let's just be real. Let's just be 100% honest.
No other group of people is giving nobody 90% of their vote.
No other group.
No other group.
No other group.
No other group. So first and foremost, Democrats need their base in this order. Black women, 90%. You need to pander to them.
Yep.
Appease them. Black man, 80%.
Yep.
You need to pander, appease them. Latino women, 70%. They're next. Latino man, 65%. And then
everybody else.
Everybody else, because white women about 44%.
Yeah,
but the problem is they keep on falling for the pump fake. Like Democrats are Kyle Kuzma on defense.
No, Democrats are Charlie Brown trying to kick the football with Lucy.
No, for real. They're Kyle Kuzma. It's like, oh,
ain't a pump fake he don't like.
Yeah, like oh, they marching with Black Lives Matter. Pump fake, got you. We gonna vote the same, nigga. look, I did my own research. I said I'm gonna go back to 40 years because I thought 40 years was a good measure to kind of decide a good
sample size, right?
Yeah. Democrats have won white women vote one time in 40 years since 1980. That's damn near everybody's lifetime on this show. One time. That was 1996. Bill Clinton. He won white women vote 48-43. From that point on, other than that, in the last 40 years, white women have been white women has been between 50 and 55% Republican. I do not know why, because they join our marches, they out there, whatever. They still pump faking and they vote the same exact way every time. Stop fucking with them. That's not the Democratic base. They don't fuck with y'all. They done proved it time and time again. Even during Obama lost. McCain had 53%. Mitt Romney had 55%.
And real quick, they put so much emphasis. I've heard the Democrats putting so much emphasis into the suburban white women. This go round, and they need to stop that shit. And I'm glad you brought that up, Quincy, because I want to talk about how they get to this point where these are the people that they market to, and these are the people that they try to pander to. First of all, I went and did my research too, Quincy, and I found out that a lot of the Democratic Party, the DNC, and this is why they're behind, and this is why we got to have a whole other conversation about establishment Democrats and the shit that they're doing is just not working. They pay consultants to tell them who they need to go after instead of listening to their actual base. They're paying consultants to say, this is who you need to speak to. This is who you need to go after. And these consultants, Ron. And these consultants get paid based on, they the ones who tell you need to put commercial ads here in Texas. You need to do commercial ads here for white suburban women. Now, this is one thing that I got to give.
Are white women.
Probably. And this is the one thing I got to give Donald Trump credit for. Donald Trump listens to his base, and I'm talking about to the most elementary point of listening to his base. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if y'all ever been able to stomach and watch his rally, but Donald Trump will be at a rally, and they will yell some shit out and start chanting. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's what we on. Okay, cool." And that will become the shit that he talks about for the next few weeks. Because
that's what he just did with firing Fauci.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So whatever the crowd say, he's literally listening to his base in real time, and that's one of the reasons he has such a loyal following, because he literally listens to his base
around like evil tip.
Yeah,
because he gained 5 million fans. So
like I said, he's whatever they say, he's just bouncing back off and he's following what they say. So it's not even like he's leading; he's taking what they say and say, "Oh, that's what we on." Cool. This is what I'm gonna push.
He just got the bullhorn.
Yeah. Now the opposite, the problem that the Democrats have been having is they paid these consultants to try to give a non-threatening message to try to pull everybody under this big tent. But in doing that, you forsake black women. In doing that, you forsake black men. In doing that, you forsake the Latino vote, because there was a young lady. I wish I could remember her name. A young lady who was part of one of the top Democratic coalitions, who was saying, I've been telling the Democrats they need to come talk to the Puerto Ricans in Miami. They need to come talk directly to the Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. Because if you start to pick up those Latino men and Latino women that Trump was able to pick up, you're not going to get all of them, but let's do like he did. If you could siphon off 20% of Latino men and Latino women, that's what you'll need to do what Ron was saying, where they will be hard pressed to win another election with the map being the way it is if we go after those things.
Well, when you think about it, in the states that Democrats need to win, that's their base. Because I mean, pretty much Trump killed them off with the Cubans because the only thing he said, look, they're going to be socialists and Biden is a communist. And they hear that shit, they think about Castro, and boom, that's it.
Right.
And Trump gonna repeat it. He gonna run ads and all that. So
I still think it's even more than that. It's like Satan's favor. Like I saw him at a conference at a rally in Erie where he was dissing them to their face. I'm shocked that he would still do that well in like Pennsylvania. Like he was just like, well, we down to it. That's why I'm here in Erie, because otherwise, I definitely wouldn't have came to Erie. Like I would have called y'all and told y'all, hey, Erie, forget about it, not coming, bitches. But here I am, because I gotta be here. I was thinking like they gonna get turned off. Nobody
because he understands that the Latinos in Florida ain't the Latinos in Texas.
Right.
And so he's gonna whoever's in that room, black people. I love black people. Nobody done more for black people than me. Blah blah blah. Nigga, the next room he got white supremacists. Stand back, stand up. What's up? How you do? Like that's what he does. But,
no, I'm just saying he literally dissed them though. He was saying he wouldn't even come see them. That's not like being down with them and saying what they want to say. He was just like, y'all really wouldn't even be worth my time if this race wasn't so close.
But they like that though. He came and saw us. At least he came. They take anything out of anything.
And you would make it right.
It's Satan's favor, man.
But again, so I think if the Democratic Party is really going to have a chance at changing and turning things around and not losing a bunch of us to the Lincoln Party that's about to be on the rise, listen.
Which Fox just reported is over. They said that because of this, it's over.
Yeah, that's what they want. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. But like Quincy was saying, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get that 18% of black men voting for Republicans to come down to about 10%. If you speak to them and do the right things, if you can get 10% of those black men back, if you can get 15 to 20% of Latino men, 15 to 20%, because these are the demographics that are growing. Not only are these the ones that will help us with some of those swing states that we have problems with, some of these swing states that are close, it's a lot of black, Latino men, black women, black Latino men, Latino women, and all of these places. And these are the spaces that we need to concentrate on and start to grab those demographics and not have it so
black and Latino men with money were the surprising demographic.
You can say to hell with those men. How about this? Let everybody out that's in jail for marijuana and watch how many more delegates you have.
Biden said that. Biden
right. And that can now vote.
The thing about it is, I would have ran ads in black neighborhoods of Biden and Kamala saying that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Right. I would have ran ads to black folks of Biden actually breaking down the crime bill.
Yeah,
right.
But see, when you don't do that, you allow other people to tell your story.
Well, Quincy, again, that goes back to them trying to look safe for those white suburban women because they don't want to look like they soft on crime. So that didn't fit under that safe umbrella of talking about, well, this is what the crime bill was meant to do, They want to look like they still strong and tough on crime. So they want to go into that because they will lose that coveted white suburban woman that they never going to get, that they haven't gotten in 40 years, at least, as you say. But
who do you think is powering that though, Dane? It's the white women in the party, that old established white women.
Yeah, it's the white women in the party. Yeah.
Well,
the DNC is very out of touch in what stuff they need to do.
Yeah. Actually, Roland Martin said that. Roland Martin said you need black consultants to advise you on black people. You can't have white consultants advise you about white folks.
Because we're used to having to live that duplicity and understand what could cater to white people and black people. Because we have to know how to cater to white people and black people. But a white person is not going to be able to advise you the same way.
Yeah, but in order, I actually believe just seeing who Biden has surrounded himself with, like I know Cedric Richmond, they working on a criminal reform bill. to go back to repeal a lot of stuff from the crime bill. Biden said things from the 86 crime bill, 88 and 94 crime bill. And he got Cedric Richmond working on that. And Cedric Richmond is somebody I definitely trust and respect. He also got Keisha Lance Bottoms also all working on it. So he got some real ones in his camp that I think some stuff is going to get done. And I don't know what advice or who advised him to put black people, black women specifically, because he got Simone Sanders as one of his top advisors. So I know even before he ran for president, he wanted to have Michelle as his running mate. Of course, Michelle don't like politics.
I want to wear my shoulders out.
Yeah, Michelle don't like politics, but he didn't keep whoever advised him. He didn't lock in on something as far as having black women, and I think that's why you're gonna see people like Stacey Abrams definitely have a spot in somewhere in this administration, because it to me, he didn't got to this point because of black women.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And even how like Kamala even know how to, like, I ain't gonna say she comes behind them and cleaning it up well, but she definitely articulate their plans and their idea
much better than him. Yeah,
much better than him. Yeah. So you know, but it's still a lot of work to do. But it's time for them to just say, look, we got a piece to our base, which is black people and Latino people. And more than likely, what Obama kind of figured out, and he did it on some slick shit, is that, look, if black people benefit off of it, most likely everybody else going to end up going to benefit off of it. And we all know April Ryan brought it up. She said the crime bill was for, I mean, not the crime bill, the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act was for black people. And so, but, you know, he knew that if he did something, everybody else, it was going to pay off. And that's why, despite something was for us, he was still able to win Iowa, North Carolina, and places that you see other Democrats having a hard time winning.
Yeah.
And who else but a black woman is going to come into a shitty situation like this and get everything? I bet you she have everything lined back up. That's all we've been having to do our entire life.
The thing I'm hoping he does, because normally the president gives the vice president a portfolio of things like, okay, these are the things you focus on. I'm hoping he let her, because he's going to have to deal with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he just look, you take the criminal justice reform, and that be, especially her coming from being a former AG, etc., and let her do that while he goes deal with COVID.
But COVID really is a no-brainer. That's what's so frustrating about it. You got the blueprint. You can look at countries who are not suffering like we are right now.
Shit, we have the
money that they could have put into the stimulus before. They could have bought a gang of tests, had tests everywhere for everybody, quarantine those people. We could have been done with this in a month.
But Sheila,
that wouldn't have got him 5 million extra votes.
And there you go, and there it is. I was saying, thank you.
That check, you see my name on the check.
Keeping a pandemic under control, but I forgot.
The shit we care about, they don't give two shits about.
No. We care about the health. He cares about opening the economy back up, so it's easier for him to run on that than run on getting people well. Right? It was better for him to say they want to keep everything closed. We want to open it back up. It's easier for him to run on that than saying, let's test people, let's make them well, let's do the expedient thing to not only make people well and open the economy back.
He was figuring out a way to make money off of sick
let it go out of control so that it could affect the elections like this.
Yeah,
that and defeat his pocket.
Sheila, that's what I think it was, because to me, I have to really think about why would if he was to fix this COVID, like handle this COVID shit better, the economy goes up and he gets to boast about the economy, which
that was my thought process.
So it was like there's something.
He's making money off of death.
Nah, what happened is COVID helps him suppress the vote.
Yep.
And shit backfired. because motherfuckers did early voting a lot.
They fixed his ass.
Yeah,
But if you look at the
That's
talk
how
track
simple he thinks.
over 3 months, you look at them talk tracks, and he made sure you could see it back to back. Oh, voting by mail is a fraud. It's a fraud. Voting by mail. So they, like you talked about
he
earlier,
was relying on COVID to help him suppress the vote. Like Sheila was saying, he was setting it up by complaining about, because he started complaining about the voting like back in fucking May.
Right. They're gonna be cheating. If I lose, they cheated.
Yeah.
If I lose. But Quincy, answer me this.
Right there.
No, I was gonna say, Quincy, answer me this. So if that's the case, because this is what popped in my head when you just said that, is that what if and I know he obviously was trying to twist this to use it, but what if he's just that fucking dumb? What if he just didn't realize he thought, because I think he thinks like in checkers, like we kind of think in chess forms with different moves. He's just straight ahead. Somebody told him, "Wow, that's a great idea. Let's use it." And I think he's just fucking stupid.
I think
he is, but he got a chess master behind him.
He's very strategic. Like looking back, even at the RNC, the fact that he was doing the naturalization of those individuals at the RNC, that should cater to the Latino crowd.
That's a
like
point.
You wanted to say something?
Sorry,
she's telling us the time.
No,
she was showing us the time.
I think.
I can't hear her.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I definitely, Ron, I'm with you. I definitely think he's a box of rocks. But the thing about it is his arrogance.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It just like I was telling you. So
astounding.
Can't be stupid and confident.
Because somebody told him. So somebody told him, I brought this up in the inbox. Somebody told him, like, look, once you go to Cindy McCain and talk to her, like
what?
Like make her up. Because the person was like, look, bro, you gonna pay for it with Arizona,
right?
That nigga was like, nope.
I like you didn't shit on John McCain before death and after death.
Right.
John McCain is like a god in Arizona. Once you go to Cindy McCain, do a little photo op thing. They said Trump was like, nah.
Trump was like,
fuck that bitch.
But
and that's what McCain's doing to him right now.
Yeah.
From the grave.
Yeah, because I'm with Ron. I don't think he's that smart. But the thing is, smart people don't know everything, but they do listen to other smart people.
Right. That's how you become smart.
I think he's a rodeo clown.
Think about like Joe Biden. When you brought up the crime bill, Joe Biden, he immediately get defensive. I was like, that shit gonna kill him right there. He gotta stop getting defensive. I was like, dude, don't get it. Look, own the shit. My bad. Explain it to people because a lot of people haven't really heard it broken down. Talk about what you were thinking. Now talk about how you gonna correct it.
Right. Because we're the most forgiving sect. Like you'll do something to us, we'll forgive you.
But the thing, but Biden's problem was he kept on the moment somebody brought it up. He fucking got
Here we go with this bullshit.
Hey, you can tell in the last 3 or 4 months, whoever started talking to him, he started to do exactly.
Whoever she is.
Yeah. Whoever the black woman told him, like,
right.
Just admit to it, explain it, and then talk about how you're gonna fix it. And that's what he started, and that's what he started to do. And now he's sitting up here, and he was saved by damn near like 5 different black cities.
Mm-hmm.
So, but smart. But Trump is not smart enough. I mean, look, dude, Dr. Fauci been there for like 5 Republican presidents, 4 Democratic presidents, and he trying to make it seem like this nigga's partisan.
Right.
Did bro, I was here about how he was gonna wait until after the election to fire him?
Yeah.
He can fire him. He don't even know who he can fire. That's the disturbing part. Like, you got a nigga who's so dumb that he throw threats that he don't even know he can't fulfill.
He used to Celebrity Apprentice, so he could do whatever he want on TV.
I guess.
That's why I don't think he's. That's why I really don't think he's smart. Like he's playing. I think what Ron is saying is true. I think because he picks and chooses who he listens to. So I feel like he just goes off the rails. He does whatever he wants. When it looks bad to him, then he starts listening to people. He did that with the debate. He did that with the tweet. He does it sporadically. So I feel like he just makes impulsive decisions. He's two people. He's a Gemini. You know what I mean? Like he does. He like does.
Oh, he
this.
sure is, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
remember Dick
What?
Gregory talking about there being two dumb?
Yeah. So he does this. He does.
Remember he did say that with the red tie and the blue tie.
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
thinks
God.
he thinks this stuff. I mean, see, Ron, it explains.
Why didn't y'all
Now
tell me he a Gemini? Why y'all tell me he was a Gemini?
We didn't
Shit.
even need to talk about anything else.
That's it.
Half the time he does all this
Hey,
stuff.
Ron, I said that.
Yeah, we
You
talked
should have known
about
about how many
this all
baby
the time.
mamas he
My
said
bad.
he was a Gemini.
I missed that.
Hey, Ron, I said Gemini's was taking a hit with Kanye, Ice Cube, and Trump.
Oh, and I got 3 in my family. I got 2 in the house. And 3. Oh my God, that says it all.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Problem
I
solved.
don't think
Shit.
he's smart enough to be making those moves like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna be like the mastermind behind like coming up with dumb people. I think he's just like, it just happens and he rolls with it. And it's like constant like good luck. Like I'm sure he didn't think like, oh, I can get 66 million people to follow me. And I'm sure he didn't, because he.
Oh, was there an emergency?
Amber
I
Alert.
just heard something.
They're not
Yeah,
gonna
I'll say
know
it.
I don't know.
Amber
I'm gonna
Alert,
stop
yeah.
talking. Oh,
I thought, yeah, it was Amber Alert, wasn't you?
okay. I thought it was me.
No,
Be a
no, it was Amber.
Shaniqua- that's going to be a Shaniqua alert once
Yeah,
Biden and
yeah,
Kamala
yeah.
win. We
Yeah,
changing them names too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mahogany alert.
Exactly. Sure.
No, it's an
All the
endangered elder. It's an
tornadoes.
endangered
Elderly.
person.
I didn't get it yet.
Yeah, I got a citizen now.
It's an
Police
endangered
chasing.
elderly person.
Yeah, I got this too. But we changing the hurricane's going to be white names now. It's going to be Brad and Hunter. You know, we
Hurricane
changing
Jack.
everything up now. Like Fox,
Hurricane
that's what Fox
Connor.
is afraid of. Yeah, Hurricane Connor.
Hey,
Hurricane
you know what?
Cody.
Hey, you know, somebody told me what hurricanes was when I was little, and I actually believed the shit. Did I ever tell you this story, Dane?
The Africans, the spirits of African slaves from the
Yep.
slave ships. I heard
Yeah.
that before.
And,
I've heard that too.
And
It
then-
makes
Originate,
sense
they say
because they
from
started in the Atlantic
the Middle
Ocean.
Passage. Exactly.
They
and
start
then-
over there.
but the part that got me is that it started off on the west coast of Africa and it swept all the slave states.
Exactly.
Like hurricane hit all the slave states. I was like, you like 10. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Q, that's how navigators figured out a way to get here. They actually followed tornado. Like I read something in the past, but that I think that's how they got the path, like that current, because there's basically a current that travels from Africa up through South America and up to America. And so, yeah.
Let me ask you this, Ron. If you were to be able to talk to the Democratic Party about how to speak to disenfranchised black men about bringing them back to the fold, back into the party, what would be your suggestion? What would you want them to say? What would you say? Hey, fuck them consultants. This should be your messaging to young black men, the black men that you are losing in the party.
I think the party's biggest, and this is free, I think I mentioned it a couple shows before, is just to make a public apology to black people in general. You know, once America has come out and just said, hey, we were wrong. This is something we did. This is something that we now have to face, and this is how we're going to fix it. That plan in itself will be an uplift for black people, because currently we're kind of just still in the same spot. Like since we got the civil rights and then everything kind of just turned off, the faucet cut off. And if they can come out and say, okay, we made this mistake. We were a part of the crime bill, but these are the steps we plan to take to move forward. And this is where we're going to need your help. You know, we need you guys to come out for the Senate. We need you guys to, to come out. We need you to watch Uncouth too. You know, then you don't have to do all this extra shit, But seriously, though, they really need to speak to how they're first apologizing and then the plan to move forward.
The plan to fix the things that seem to have a lot of black men disenfranchised at this moment, like regarding mass incarceration, regarding jobs, and just even regarding just being ignored by the party. Because like we said, the party did not directly talk to black men a lot through this campaign at all. I think they did a horrible job of speaking directly to black males when it came to voting. And I think they could have chipped off at least another 5% if they would have done that. If they would have done those two things you said, Ryan, they probably would have got up to about tipped off another 10% and only had Biden. I mean, only had Trump at like an 8% vote, which would be like what Sheila said. The black men with money, the black and Latino men with money would probably stay. But if you get those disenfranchised guys who say, "This was the crime bill. We apologize. We want to fix it, and these are the things we're going to put in place to fix it." I think that would have went a long way. Go ahead.
And we need your help. I'm just saying, make us inclusive, and we need your help to fix it.
Because I think that part of the reason that our votes have always been taken for granted is we've been hoes with them. That was one thing I have to give props to Cube for. He wasn't lying on that. I just wasn't trying to hear him because of his timing, and then later on, all the rest of the trash that came out. But if they know there's no reason to try to pander to us if they're going to get our vote anyway. So now that we understand how all the game works, instead of just, I mean, we are still going to try to change the game, but until we can change the game, we're going to pimp this game. We figured it out. We see what it is. We need to play it the way they play it and make sure that they understand, hey, y'all got promises on your desk. I'm going to be checking on y'all quarterly. If this ain't looking how it's supposed to be looking, I will be at those polls in 2022, and some stuff gonna be looking different. I'm not gonna always be Democrat if y'all can't do what y'all supposed to do. And if we get to that point where we don't have a problem with really, but in an organized fashion that we have discussed and planned out by the time we get to election, then yes, I think that we can really wield our power no differently than those gentlemen did in the NBA, and still big ups to them. You saw people don't try to listen to them, but when all those NBA players stood together, some stuff moved really quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're still foul for not catering to us, but it's just like hoes who go sleep with dudes and be like, well, I can't believe you acting like we're not in a relationship. Well, I mean, it's like paying a nigga and then saying, why ain't you come to work? Like if he ain't doing nothing yet.
Well, I actually agree with the whole analogy, but it's like you hit every 4 years though.
We've been locked up for a while.
So we don't fuck around with one another. We don't really communicate with one another. We don't talk. They don't talk to us. We don't talk to them. But every now and then, when they come in town every 4 years, they want to smash, and that's pretty much.
They don't even be talking about dinner. They don't be showing up with no flowers.
So we out of state. We out of state.
I'm not sure that they know our name.
But in order for the relationship to work, it has to be ongoing. And I think that's the issue.
But you also have to set standards for yourself. And then that's what people respond to.
The relationship has to be ongoing because we can't pop up every 4 years asking for shit 2 months before the election either.
Right.
We got to ask the whole 4 years. Right. Well, we're like superheroes who just discovered their power. You know, and I think they've had a couple stories. So now that we've discovered our power, let's use it to do right.
From now on, as a block, vote as a block.
I mean, even with Obama, we did it because we was like, okay, we got Obama in record numbers.
Yeah.
Midterms, we didn't do shit. We didn't give him what he needed. That actually,
but tell the truth, Quincy, that was that first Obama win. That was so like it was mentally draining. Like after he won, everybody was like, ah.
Yeah, Hey, that first Obama win was like, I think like people like. I remember I was like, this dude. I remember when it first hit me, like, is this nigga really about to win? Like,
right? Yeah, I remember. I was
like, if people really roll with this,
yeah,
and you know, it was. But then I think we went to sleep on that first.
Like, we like he got it. He like he's smart shit. He intelligent. He got it. Shit.
But then
he need our help.
But then. At the end of the first term, we like, oh, they're trying to get rid of him. We got to go back.
Yeah. Hey, let me read this. Hey, let me read this real quick, man. Pence just put out a. This shit is rich, man. Like when I tell you they don't really give a fuck, they don't give a fuck.
They don't even keep.
They just put a letter out talking about despite the ridiculous polling used as a voter suppression tactic in Wisconsin. Like, so they are trying to sue Wisconsin based on voter suppression. So now voter suppression is real?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Fuck that.
It's only real if it's happening against him.
Hey, you know what? Stacey Abrams and them need to sue their ass because they literally did everything in their power to stop them in Georgia for
Let me ask you this, Q. Why can we not sue Mitch McConnell? Like, I don't understand how that has not happened.
shit,
for
we
the way
can't.
he's handled the Supreme Court.
We
Like
can't.
that's a clear that is a very clear
We
conflict.
can.
The way he did that.
We
We can sue. It's just if people gonna get behind it.
Yeah.
right.
Why
We
wouldn't
got to we got to do reverse psychology on these people. So now that they want to attack, voter suppression. Great. You know what? You guys
Yeah.
are right. Let's address voter suppression. Like you know what?
Yeah.
You guys are right.
Yeah.
Give them credit. Let them think that they did that too.
Hey, you know what? I think that should be a lawsuit against the postal the
Post
post
office.
Yes, him too.
like that motherfucker ignoring a federal
federal-
drug order.
Right.
Right. Like fuck it.
Like
That's how you know that down the back end of a lot of the stuff they're doing, they're being told, don't worry about it. If something happened to you, we gonna take care of it.
We got
Like put yourself out there. Put yourself out there.
hey, try for the pardon all the homies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trump
Don't
is the
trip on
biggest gangster. Like that's the one thing I respect about him. Like I don't care what y'all talk about Bumpy Johnson. Y'all can talk about fake gangsters like Scarface.
This is what
dude has
black men like
outdone
about
all
him.
of them across
This
the
is
board.
what
There
black
should be
men
a
like
Trump
about him.
movie. Real
Oh,
American.
it is. Oh, it's gonna be one. Shit. American Gangster number
You
2.
don't even have to exaggerate. Like you can have just straight up what happened, and it is the most insane. I think it probably wasn't.
But I am concerned about the Senate because I can't do fucking 2 years of just fucking gridlock. That shit.
Yeah.
I actually want something done, and I actually think like this administration will try to get something done specifically for us. But I don't. That shit ain't gonna. We already know.
Well, like you said, Quincy, are there certain, and I guess we could explore this and do a separate show about it, or even me and you just jump on live and talk about it. Are there a few key Republican senators that you can start to ingratiate into getting you to vote the way
What?
you know?
Romney.
Oh, I was looking at the dude that the senator from Texas that wrote the
reparations bill. I mean, wrote the Juneteenth bill.
That wrote the Juneteenth bill.
Right.
That and then it was backed up by Kamala Harris. Like maybe that's somebody they could reach out to.
So that's what I mean. Are there a couple of people that we could strategize that
Sure,
will?
there are.
I mean, Tim
I think we
Scott.
strategize to get what you call him arrested.
I mean, maybe Tim Scott is fucked up because Lady G used to be Biden homeboy.
Lady G.
You know, but since after McCain died and he became Trump's bitch, because even Biden was like,
it's astounding.
He was like, we used to be cool, but I guess you know, it's how it is. But I mean,
Tell Stephanie, racist people live forever.
I think if you
Thank you for the positive words, Stephanie.
What she say?
We ain't that lucky. She said, hopefully Mitch just dies off. Like shit. Good luck with that.
Man,
he got that racism.
Die?
Man,
not the strongest fucking
I think he died already. Real talk. I think he died like 2 years. Did you see how purple his lips were? He dead.
The racism just keeping him alive.
He got an amulet like Rasputin. I'm telling you.
This is how I know racist white folks do not look. Yeah, y'all know Love, right? I brought this up to Love. Love said, you know what? Because I said that, she was like, you know what? That's true because she said all my non-racist family members didn't die, but my racist family members, them motherfuckers still living.
Right.
It's like
that's what happens when you don't give a shit and when you give a shit.
Yeah, racist people don't die. Look. Just think about how many like motherfuckers who kill people in like 1955, they still going to arrest them. What that nigga doing alive?
Right. He's still alive.
Like you still got niggas that kill people from the Tulsa Black Wall Street. They still going to jail and shit. Like, why the fuck you are alive? Nigga 170 years old. Still
sip that nigga blood. You know about that, did you? We know how to stay alive. You think y'all got a bunch of missing people? Yeah, right. they ain't missing.
Oh, before we get out of here too, I wanted to say congratulations to Anne Francis Lambert, who we had on for her first interview. She won as city councilwoman in the 3rd district in Richmond, Virginia. So we have somebody on the inside who's on our side, and I want to utilize her, right? We want to make sure we can see these conversations because the things that we're saying, we want her to be able to help us take it to the Democratic Party. I know somebody
our sounding board.
I know somebody who knows Karen Bass. We need to get a meeting with Karen Bass and start to talk to her about these things. That, like, we need to start, like you said, we need to start pressing that line for real, not just talking about it and letting it go into the ether. We need to really start pressing that line and really start making that change. Anybody out there who's watching Uncouth, I know a lot of y'all know people in politics. A lot of y'all know Maxine personally. A lot of y'all know, and we're going to talk about that race too. A lot of y'all know Maxine personally. A lot of y'all know like Mark Ridley Thomas. I think Herb Weston actually lost. But all the other, you know, y'all know a lot of these people in the community who are connected to the Democratic Party. We need to start sitting down with these people and pushing our line instead of letting them stay for years and years and years.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
If you out there and you interested in politics, go for it. Because we need more.
Why don't you go into politics, Quincy?
All my shit to be out there. Plus,
that's our problem. That's our problem. Quincy, is that a lot of us are fearful of that history.
Like the bar can't get lower.
Well, the thing is, like, me debating, like, I can debate, but once somebody like start, I'm like, listen, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now. What's the
you gonna talk to Mitch like that? You gonna talk to Mitch like that?
That's
I can't break down statistics. We calling people hoes. Like, look, yeah, hoe. First of all,
that's where we are right now.
First and foremost.
No.
I'm
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you something that's really been on my mind. If nobody challenged this fucking sheriff, I'm gonna run against this monkey ass.
Do it.
Which one? You talking about this one or Baca? I mean, not
Villanueva.
Villanueva, yeah.
Yeah, Baca and the pen player.
Right. That's what I thought. Like, in county, yeah.
Yeah, this
Do
one.
it.
Because I think that we I remember when Mark Ridley Thomas was running. I forgot what he was running because I'm not a really good fan of his. Nobody ran against him.
Right.
Like we just allowed.
We used to live in this district. You don't have nobody running against him.
We just have these people who be running for office. Nobody challenged them. I think we at least need to challenge. But yeah, if nobody challenged dude, I already talked to somebody. I'll run for sheriff. I don't give a fuck.
So you don't have to be active. What the requirements to be the sheriff?
No, all you have to do is put in that you want to be like you can run for sheriff, huh?
Okay, not never having had law enforcement experience.
None.
Really?
Joe
Clark, Ron Clark coming in here. We're gonna clean this shit up. They're gonna kill my ass.
Hey, you should do it. Hey, Quincy, you should do it.
Hey, Ron gonna have his friends walking around with dashiki on and shit.
Hey, exactly. Shit. Hey, all June, you gotta wear something, you know.
Hey, this year I'm gonna be dressed like Black Panthers. They're gonna have the little hats and shit.
Exactly. That's how we do it.
No.
You want your job, don't you?
Hey, no,
you want your pension.
But it's a elected official, and all you have to do is apply like you would do like you run for city council or anything else. I mean, I do. Of course, they'll probably go at my lack of experience. I never been. Then they're gonna get into my Long Beach shit, which will only help my case because I'm gonna use that shit as like this is where I'm running.
Yeah,
exactly.
They did. So
that's actually a good reason.
Hey, I'm saying it right here, right now on Uncouth. I think you should do it, and we should all get behind you and make sure.
Oh, we definitely gonna
press that line.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's start an exploratory committee right now and see what we need to do to get you the right pieces behind you, bro.
Yeah, I just don't need these random hoes popping up.
That's how you can clear your record, man. You can shit everything can get expunged.
Yeah, once they expose it, that's it. Like Eminem, you said it all. They did it all.
Don't deny it. Just don't deny it, and you good. Like
I've made mistakes in my life, like everyone else.
That's exactly why, because I understand fucking up how you could go correct yourself. So I think this department is fucked up, and it needs.
Speaking of fucking up, how y'all doing?
And then as soon as they bring it up with us, we'll just be like, "Yeah, fuck all that." So his plan for going forward.
So listen.
Are we hitting the props today, James? Are you hitting the props, anyhow?
No, I'm not gonna really get into the props because I'm mad at a bunch of Californians for some of the stupid shit they did.
The wake control did not pass, right?
Listen, and the reasons that I'm getting, it's the same type shit you was getting when you had Broke niggas
How
mad about
California?
Biden's tax plan. So I don't even want to talk about that shit. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that later. Oh, but check
You
it
got
out.
a DM?
Yeah, no, we don't got the Chan left this, man. Her I guess her internet, she was
mad at us.
she was frustrated, so she left. But I wanted to say this. Again, shout out to Anne Francis Lambert. And I want everybody, if you get a chance, go follow Arc Republic News. Follow Arc Republic on Facebook, Arc Republic on YouTube. I did some election coverage with them yesterday, and it was great. We were able to go through every 3 hours. We was going in, we was doing the check-in, and I will be on with them probably tomorrow doing a show called the Weekly Check-In.
I got 10 right here.
Okay.
Art,
Hey,
like
hey, Ted,
ART
you have a DM?
Republic? Are you saying art like ART? Republic?
Yeah, ARK.
Oh, ARC.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said I didn't think we were gonna do one.
Oh, okay. Well, you on the show. You got anything to say?
Go to one screen on her day.
he totally go to one screen up. You got anything to say?
Because we can't see her. Yeah, we want to get this.
Okay.
There we go.
I started getting ready for a bath. I can't believe I'm still on the show.
Oh, you don't
That's
got
what you get for leaving us.
I just thought he was calling me.
You're like ghost.
No, are we gonna? I feel like we have to check back in. I know we said this is gonna be the last show, but I feel like we gotta do another one once he gets final.
Yeah, once Trump started just doing outrageous bullshit.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to have another check-in show. You right.
Yeah, y'all pray for us.
You know, I think I'm proud of us though. I think we're so much more politically aware than even we were in 2016, and
We are.
I think we brought a lot of knowledge to people, and I'm proud of us. I'm proud of.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah,
we heard
thanks,
it.
Pan.
Yeah.
Hey, this kind of like when a homie called from jail and shit, and the whole
There you go. Can you see us? Everybody, be quiet. Be quiet.
the
Shit.
family
We can't hear you.
the family over for the holiday. That family, remember that call? All right.
Yeah.
I'm in jail.
You've been in jail 27 years. Killed your other cousin.
All right, so I know we said we thought this was gonna be our last show, but for the year, but clearly
Surprise.
it's not, because this election is probably gonna go on for another 2 months. So we definitely gonna have to check in when it's
Trump
official.
gonna show up at the inauguration.
Yeah, we gonna see Trump. That nigga Trump gonna show up at the inauguration like Vesta, like Vesta and shit, singing congratulations.
This is beautiful.
No, you won't. That will be behind bars.
He gonna fly in on the helicopter and land in the water.
That hole is in.
Congratulations.
Hey, no,
And it's so petty. It's gonna be Pence at the rally holding up the phone like Quincy just was with Trump on your lap.
Hey, Trump is a petty motherfucker. He might have a rally across the street from the inauguration.
Yeah, and they gonna all get beat the fuck up.
Oh yeah, no. He might not want to do that.
His rallies are not going away.
Right.
Oh no. He gonna have rallies like throughout. This is like no. You gotta go.
Rally, same
Hey,
thing.
the party of Reagan is dead.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Donald Trump party.
Not your grandmother's party.
Trumpism is alive. This
shit ain't going away. This shit about to get worse.
They're growing.
And don't put it past this nigga not to run again.
2024, yeah.
I think
I didn't know that was possible.
I really don't think he'll be able to run again.
Shit. White man with power. White man with power. He ain't going to jail.
Because he only served one term.
I think they will, because he's a national security threat. If he has no control over himself at all. You think he can go anywhere ever again in life with America? I know they don't even give him all of America's secrets.
I was about to say, do you think they really showed him the truth? They just showed him like a Dr. Seuss book, like all the secrets are in there.
I know he saw some alien shit when he came out talking about how we need a space force, and then try to play it off like he ain't never say it.
He trying to start the company to be space force. See, everything he do, it's about money. Shit, his ass company building space parts.
No, either him or Don Jr. dumbass. One of what?
Don Jr.'s a cokehead.
This is not over for the Trump family as far as
it's not over for Trump, but I think your boy is about to come back out. I think Paul Ryan finna come back like a phoenix out the ashes.
Yes, he's gonna come back with a guess who's back.
But you know what?
Yeah, he gonna be like super buff.
But you know what? The Trumpsters don't fuck with him.
No,
I know. That's why the Lincoln Party gonna have. They got to put in work.
He did disappear, huh?
Because he
He's
didn't want
over.
to. He wanted to he wanted to distance himself from Trump without actually having to say it and distance himself. So then,
No.
once Trump was out of office, he could come back and be like, "I'm back to
Guess
clean up the
who's back?
party."
Yeah, but the
but
thing
what he
is, he
didn't
went
anticipate was coming back to a party that wants Trump.
Right.
at the same time. He went over to Fox, and he's been
Right.
and Fox has been the one that's been gaslighting all the stuff that Trump's been saying.
You know the most gangster shit Trump said last night?
What?
Trump said, look, y'all need to stop counting votes in
Yes.
Michigan and Wisconsin. But in Nevada and Arizona, y'all need to continue.
counting.
You just don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like,
How do you have a president over a democracy that do not believe in democracy?
democracy.
You call yourself a patriot.
This
following a
is
dude who
America.
Do not believe in democracy.
Welcome to America, Sheila.
I've always said he's a dictator trying to function because we're not really a democracy. And I think he didn't
Right.
expose that shit.
Oh, you
Like,
heard him talking about going for a third term too, right?
Yeah. But I know a couple of people are worried about him not leaving. And like I told somebody today, like, look, on January 20th, 2021, at noon, when
Don't get a
Biden
letter.
gets sweared in,
They're gonna be
Biden
knocking on
is
his
charged.
door.
Biden is in charge of the Secret Service.
Yeah, so the
But
Yeah.
So, hey man, great show. Thank y'all for all the work that y'all been doing. Thank y'all for helping keeping me informed because a lot of the things we've been doing and talking about, y'all have been helping me even when I go over and talk on Arc Republic. So I appreciate that. Thank y'all for so many people thank me about the prop show. So I want to thank all of you guys for coming on with me to do the prop show and for the work that we have done, the work we have been doing, and the work that we are about to do. Because like I said, the next thing is we want to start the uncouth civics class for adults who need to brush up on civics or adults who don't know civics and who want to learn more about the system. And we're going to really start getting into this thing, y'all. We're going to take this thing off of just being a Facebook podcast informational show, and we're going to actually start putting boots to the ground. That was our plan before COVID happened, because we had actually decided to start going and showing up to certain council city meetings, and then COVID happened. But now we have to find another way to do it. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to start having these conversations. And I think some people really thought Joe Collins was going to be Maxine Waters, and I want to talk about that race before we leave. Maxine whooped on that boy 78%.
Something terrible. Yeah, something terrible.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Terrible.
But I will say this, and I said I wasn't going to say this while the race is going on or before the race. This should be Maxine's last stand. She either needs to mentor somebody on her way, because she's 82 years old.
Yes.
There is no reason that somebody like her, and I ain't gonna talk about Dianne Feinstein because that's an old white lady, so we know that's the original Karen. So
I think she died already too.
Yeah, but like I think she needs to groom somebody who will be able to benefit off of her personality, or if not, we need to groom somebody, benefit off of the cachet she already has when it comes to like passing the mantle and saying vote for her next. And it could be the young lady, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, who just beat Herb Weston in the district over
the Holly J something.
Yeah, I think she could be a good candidate, but we need to start looking at candidates to replace Maxine, and Maxine should be at the helm of that. Like, yo, don't RBG us.
You're right. Let
us just usher in the next person and step down.
Can we do a Mount Rushmore?
Sure, we can.
Go ahead.
I want to do a fat girl around Mount Rushmore. The top 5 foods you looking forward to for Thanksgiving.
I thought you were going to
top
yeah,
5
foods. Yeah, Q, we on the same page.
I thought you were about to say the top 5 fat girls you smash. I was like, oh, this must be.
That's a hell of a Mount Rushmore.
Top 5 foods that you're looking forward to for Thanksgiving. We just gonna do corny.
All right, top 5. Well, let's do top 5. Top 5 foods I'm looking forward to on Thanksgiving. My mom's ham, my brother's turkey, my mom's 7-layer salad. Because every family got that one staple that no other families have. That's ours, the 7-layer salad.
What's in a 7-layer salad?
I don't know. It's like some amazing shit that my mama makes, and it just shit tastes like heaven. 7-layer salad. My mother-in-law's macaroni and cheese. Daniel's, my brother Daniel's homemade cranberry sauce. Those are the 5.
Homemade.
Yeah,
Marky?
he makes homemade cranberry sauce with real cranberries and everything, and it's fire.
Do it got bacon in it?
No, it don't got bacon because you're talking about you got to ask because you're talking about Daniel.
Bacon and cranberry sauce. That's gross.
Hey, Karen has done it. Believe me.
Okay.
I can go
Sustain.
next because mine's is short. Shit, I ain't got much now. This will be my
Okay.
first Thanksgiving not eating meat, and so that took out all the meats for me. And so I guess it's gonna be my wife's dressing, my wife's mac and cheese. She actually makes a potato salad as well on Thanksgiving. So I don't know, potato salad and dressing's a little. Oh shit! Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
She must have came behind me. Look at that. No, so yeah, the dressing, the potato salad, the mac and cheese, and the desserts. I mean, for me, it's we usually have like a like a pound cake. I forgot what the religion, the type of a milk cake. She makes a milk cake. That's what it's called. So that'll be for me.
Quincy.
It's 4, right? Mount Rushmore 4
It
things,
was
right?
5. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't add another head to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Kanye.
yeah, okay. Right.
I'll say for me, well, macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese.
Mhm.
Macaroni and cheese.
Dialogue.
Macaroni and cheese.
dialogue.
Fire.
And then well, this got me in trouble when I first met Sheila. Banana pudding.
I wish I had more hands so I could give you more thumbs down.
You don't like banana pudding?
It was an inside joke.
I love
Okay,
banana
okay.
pudding.
We'll
I
tell
do
you when we
too,
get off
too.
here.
All right, Rob.
Marcy.
This year I ordered a fried turkey.
Nice.
Order.
Those are bomb. Those are bomb.
Never had one, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you'll
Gotta
enjoy
be done
that.
right.
Candy
Yep.
yams,
I forgot about those.
mac and cheese, pumpkin pie.
It's pumpkin.
You ain't
Did you just try to
that's
slide
sweet
that
potato, nigga.
You're right. I'm a pumpkin.
No, your house was the first time in which I had sweet potato pie.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Really? That
Yeah.
must be an East Coast thing.
I think it is. It really. I think it
Or
is.
Caribbean. Is it Caribbean, Morris?
No, we eat everything.
No, I think it's an
Caribbean's
East Coast thing because most people I know who have Thanksgiving on the East Coast, they do have pumpkin pie, not sweet
Okay.
potato.
and then greens.
Yeah, man. That's a good meal right there. You can't go wrong with that. That's the classic. All right, Sheila,
That
since
is
this
the
is your
classic.
Mount Rushmore.
I was with, Mars took mine, the fried turkey, but it's got to be done right. Like, I got the relatives that like inject the turkey up with the seasonings a day ahead of time and rub it all on the outside and deep fry. Yes, fried
I like
turkey.
BBD. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down.
Oh no, yes, that is some turkey you do not have to give away.
Right.
Okay, it ain't none left that you trying to give away for sandwiches. It just be a
Turkey
carcass
sandwiches.
at the
Turkey.
end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the turkey. I want some German chocolate cake. I have been wanting some for the longest. I'm not even supposed to eat cake, but you know what? I don't care. Trump is still president. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna go stupid with it. So I want some German
In the
chocolate
Trump
cake.
world.
Some stuffing. I like my stuffing better than everybody else's.
Oh, is stuff in dressing?
I'm sorry, I mean dressing. Not I
Oh,
don't
okay.
stuff
I mean,
the bird.
all right, I
Like,
was
that's
gonna
not sanitary. I'm good on that life. Some peach cobbler and some
Vanilla ice
homemade ice cream.
I was like, yeah. Winner.
Ron did a ready for the world moan. He said,
Because I know peach cobbler and ice cream is like, man. If the
Man.
one peach cobbler
You
was
just have to
was-
sleep after that.
Yeah, well, that was a good top 5 right there. We want to thank everybody who watched us, everybody who's been rocking with us on Uncouth Radio. And listen, I'm gonna make sure I put this show and the last show. I got 3 shows that we have to put up on Spotify because somebody said we slipping on putting up the podcast, and they're correct. I've just been super busy, but I'm gonna do it or teach somebody else how to do it so we can make sure we're not slipping on those. So Uncouth Radio, thank everybody for joining us. We're gonna do one more show before we leave for our hiatus until the beginning of the year because we got to do one more after, whatever happens tonight.
Stormtroopers
Yeah, after the stormtroopers come in. So, all right, until next time, we see you guys. We out of here.